It's no secret I love the Kingdom Hearts series, from the Keyblade being the greatest weapon ever, to the bosses, to the music, to going from Disney movie to Disney movie, but that does not mean I love everything about the series. And if there is one thing that has constantly annoyed me in this series, it's how Kairi is treated. Despite appearing in almost every Kingdom Hearts game in one way or another, she tends to get the short end of the stick, and most of the time she's just there, or she's in trouble, or she's an illusion of some kind. And most times Sora has to come and save her. Let's go over her history real quick and you'll see what I mean. Also, major spoilers ahead for just about all of Kingdom Hearts. In the first Kingdom Hearts game, where we meet Kairi and the rest of the Destiny Island trio, she kinda gets put in the backseat for most of the game. She still has a major role, but it's clear Sora and Riku are the stars of the game, and she gets the damsel in distress role for most of the game due to her being a princess of heart, and the fact that she is in a coma since her heart has been separated from her body. Her heart is in Sora's body, her body has disappeared, and when she's no longer in a coma, due to Sora turning himself into a Heartless to save Kairi, she does actually get a moment where she is the star of the show and brings Sora back from his Heartless form. And now that it's Riku's turn to get saved, I'm sure she will be a big help with that, right? No, she just gives Sora her lucky charm, which gives him the Oathkeeper Keyblade, and stays in Traverse Town till the end of the game. Okay, she didn't really do anything big other than saving Sora, but it's the first game. I'm sure she will get a much better role in the next game, right? Yeah, no getting around this. In Chain of Memories, Kairi herself directly does not appear. Kind of. You see in the game there are two stories, with one story following Sora, who is climbing the floors of Castle Oblivion, the place this game is set in, trying to find a girl named Naminé who is being forced against her will to use her power to mess with Sora's memories of Kairi and replace them with herself instead. Sora does remember Kairi during the Destiny Island level and at the end of the story right before he goes to sleep, but past that she really doesn't show up in the game anymore, for Sora at least. The other story in this game is following Riku, who is coming to terms with what he did in the first game while trying to control the darkness in him and not let Ansem take over again. Like in the Sora story, Kairi herself doesn't directly appear, but Zexion does conjure up illusions of Kairi along with Riku's other friends to try and make him submit to the darkness again. Naminé also uses Kairi's appearance to help Riku deal with Zexion, but that was really the last time we see her. It feels kind of wrong to say Kairi was done dirty in this game when she really doesn't appear, but she kind of did. Let me explain. You see, Naminé is the nobody of Kairi, which for those of you who don't know, when someone with a strong heart and will turns into a Heartless, their body will still have a will of its own. Naminé, being the nobody of Kairi, was born when Sora stabbed himself with the Keyblade of Heart to save Kairi. There's a lot more stuff going on this, but it would take too long to explain this, but basically Naminé is Kairi, just another persona of her. Even their roles are kind of similar. They're both the damsels in distress, with Sora and Riku coming to rescue them, but in this game, Naminé has far more effect on the plot than Kairi did in the first. Before she is saved, she strips Sora of all his memories, trying to control him, and once Naminé is saved, she begins fixing Sora's memories and it helps Riku out in his story. We are only one sequel from the first game, and Kairi has been upstaged, ironically, by herself in the form of Naminé. Remember that later, it's important. In 358 Days Over 2, she really doesn't get better treatment and only shows up in a few memories that Roxas and Xion remember and gets mentioned a few times. But that makes sense considering this is a game about Roxas, Xion, and Axel. And speaking of Xion, this is once again another case of another version of Kairi staging herself up. And yes, I know she's supposed to be a replica of Sora made from his memories, but considering it's Sora's memories of Kairi being the strongest that gave her default appearance that looks like Kairi, and the fact that she is the girl of the Sea Salt trio, I'm counting her as another version of Kairi. No joke, the amount of times Xion does something in 358 Days Over 2 that is in some way important to the plot of the game is so huge it would take forever to go over. Once again, we have Kairi getting upstaged, and like Chain of Memories, it feels wrong to point this out since Sora and Kairi are not the focus of this game, but it needs to be pointed out that once again, another girl who is, in a way, Kairi, does more for the story than she does in the first game. And there's something I want to point out about this scenario, but I need to talk about Kairi in Kingdom Hearts 2, so let's do that. So Kairi's role in Kingdom Hearts 2 is a bit better, all things considered, when looking at her role in the first game, but it still has its issues. The first time we see her is when we are playing as Roxas, and we learn that Kairi is the only person who can barely remember Sora due to Naminé's meddling in Chain of Memories, and that she has sent a letter in a bottle via the sea for Sora to read one day. The next time we see Kairi, she is at the beach wondering if waiting for Sora is good enough, only for Axel to try and kidnap her. But she gets saved by Pluto and Riku by a dark portal, then spends a bit of time in Twilight Town talking to the Twilight Town gang, telling them what happened in the first game, only to actually get kidnapped by Axel this time, only to then get kidnapped by Sayax, who wants to use her as bait to make Sora hunt down more Heartless, only to get saved by Naminé. I would say Naminé upstaged her again, but she really doesn't, seeing as Naminé is mostly around for the Roxas part of the game, and only shows up a few more times in the game after that. While the two are trying to escape, they are stopped by Sayax, again, but are saved by Riku, again. And while she is shocked that he looks like Ansem now, she's just happy to find out her friend is safe. She is then led by Riku to Sora, but gets ambushed by a group of Heartless where Riku gives her the Destiny Embrace Keyblade. Where he got that from, I have no clue. Seriously, Riku, are you just carrying spare Keyblades around? And proceeds to help Riku deal with the Heartless while Sora deals with Xigbar. After the fight, the two have the reunion in the form of a hug, and Kairi has Sora talk some sense into Riku, and helps Sora see that Ansem is Riku. He then, along with the others, climbs up the castle to try and get Xemnas, but ends up getting sidelined in every single boss fight after that. We do get the cutscene where her and Naminé fuse together before the final boss fight. After Sora and Riku take care of Xemnas and are trapped in the Realm of Darkness, they are saved by Kairi's letter that she wrote in the game earlier. How it got there, I have no clue, but it allows the door of light to open and they escape. We then see Kairi welcome Sora home, and the game ends. So, did Kairi have a better role in this story? Yes, but compared to the other two girls prior, she didn't have much. And that brings me up to what I wanted to point out back in the 358 Days section. You see, that game was released after Kingdom Hearts 2, but takes place before Kingdom Hearts 2 in the timeline. Why is that important, you ask? Because it seems to me that after Kingdom Hearts 2, they were trying to make the girls more badass in the series, and they were starting with Xion. This seems to be the case in Birth by Sleep, because while Kairi is a little girl in this game, we do get Aqua, who, let's be honest, is the best character of the Wayfinder trio. Aqua is even the reason Kairi ended up on Destiny Islands, and the reason Kairi can even use a Keyblade in the first place. After Birth by Sleep, Kairi doesn't really get much screen time till Kingdom Hearts 3, just showing up in a few flashbacks or some small minor cutscenes. For crying out loud, there isn't even a Data Kairi in the coded games. There is a Data Naminé though, so she's still getting upstaged by herself. The only big thing she gets during this era before Kingdom Hearts 3 is that Yensid is going to start training her to be a Keyblade wielder. And you think with that news, she would be far more important in Kingdom Hearts 3, right? No. Okay, to be fair, she does have a big role in Kingdom Hearts 3, but she doesn't really do much till the final act. We get a few cutscenes where we see her training with Axel, then the final battle happens, we get the cutscene with her saving Sora, being the light in the darkness for him, and then she gets kidnapped / gets her heart scattered, which leads to the DLC where Sora puts her back together. Then we finally get the chance to play as her for the first time in the final boss of this part of the DLC. Her and Sora then go on a date before we see Sora disappear. We then get to Melody of Memories, and I thought we were finally going to get a Kairi-focused game here, but no, this game is just a recap of the series mixed with rhythm gameplay, as we go through Kairi's memories looking for a clue about Sora, although still want to know how she knows about the part she wasn't there for. Either way, at the end of the game, we see her try to fight the memory of Xehanort, only to get saved by Sora, which leads to the upcoming Kingdom Hearts 4. And that is Kairi's history in the Kingdom Hearts series. Not the best track record when you compare it to Sora or Riku. Now you would think with me listing all this, I don't like Kairi, but you're wrong. I actually like Kairi a lot in these games. Don't get me wrong, she's not my favorite girl in the series or anything, that's Aqua by the way, but Kairi is still a character I really like. I love how she's the one who keeps saving Sora in the numbered games. The thing is, she reminds me of another redheaded girl in a fiction who has the same problem as her. Ginny Weasley from Harry Potter. Like Ginny, we are constantly told Kairi is an important or powerful figure, but we never see that. Why is she the only remaining Princess of Heart? Why does she have a Keyblade all of a sudden? Well, they don't do much with it. And while I would love that she's the one who keeps saving Sora, almost every time she has to be saved herself by him. Case in point, Melody of Memories, where despite getting the clue she needed to help find Sora, he still needed to come save her at the end from the memory of Xehanort. Now, I actually think this was the right call to make. See, Kairi does have training, but she doesn't have the experience or skills that you can only get from being in real fights or in the field. So there's no way she was beating the first big bad of the series, and I have an idea how we can change that. So real quick, I just want to state my main reason on why I want a Kairi game so bad. You see, she is not fleshed out all that well. Kairi's main problem is that it's hard to either like her or hate her because she doesn't get anything in the games. And this is sad because when you look at the other girls in the series, they are kind of powerhouses. Look at Aqua, she's the only master of the Wayfinder trio, and at the end of Birth by Sleep, she was the only one who wasn't really out of action. Even in the Realm of Darkness, she was still running around for years before it got to her. Xion too was a huge powerhouse in 358 days. She even had a huge box fight with Roxas, and Naone, while never fighting, she did mess with people's memories pretty easy. Well, at least the ones connected to Sora. And it's not just them. Look at Maleficent. She was technically the main antagonist of the first game until Ansem showed up. Same with Minnie and several other Disney princesses and characters. They've gotten rather decent roles even if they were minor at best. So why is Kairi, despite being a main character, treated as the Waluigi of the series? Well, either way, I think it's time it stopped and give her a game with her as the lead. But I want to go ahead and state I don't think Kairi is going to get a big role in Kingdom Hearts 4. The main games tend to be Sora focused, but I feel like we could do what 358 Days did when it came to Kingdom Hearts 2 and have it set before that game. Or rather have it while Kingdom Hearts 4 is happening. Real quick, I know I said at the start of the video, but there are going to be major spoilers for what we do know about Kingdom Hearts 4 in this section. So you see at the end of Melody of Memories, we see Riku go into the world of fiction to find Sora, and we learn that Kairi is going to get more training from Aqua, but there is a problem. Maleficent is attacking the worlds again, which considering she hasn't been a main threat for a while, it works for her being a villain for Kairi, and since Riku and Sora are in the fiction world, I'm pretty sure it's going to take a while for them to get back once Riku finds Sora, which means they can't save the day this time. Now this leads us to one of two scenarios. The first one is that Aqua, Terra, and Ventus have not returned from the Realm of Darkness, which means we are only down to 5 Keyblade wielders and the others who aren't Keyblade wielders, or those 3 have returned. Either way, it doesn't really change too much of the plot I have an idea for. And to answer the question on why everybody other than Kairi is not the main character in this game, simple, they're busy. See, the idea I have is that all the other characters, minus Sora and Riku, are busy protecting the worlds. We could have Maleficent somehow summoning several thousand Heartless, like back in Kingdom Hearts 2, maybe she found a way to open a portal to the Realm of Darkness or something. This causes everybody to split up to deal with the forces of darkness since Maleficent is out here trying to overflood the specific worlds in an attempt to find the new Princesses of Heart. A plot point that didn't really go anywhere in Kingdom Hearts 4. Because of this, Kairi is the only one who can go from world to world, seeing as Yin, Sid, Mickey, and Aqua don't think she's strong enough to protect the world all on her own. Instead, Kairi is given the role of support and is sent to provide backup to the others on the world they get sent to. This way, we can see her interacting with the others and have the classic Kingdom Hearts experience. This works for Kairi, besides just wanting to help her friends. She's also doing this to get stronger since she is still a Princess of Heart. She knows Maleficent is going to come after her at some point, so she wants to get stronger so she won't be a damsel in distress again. This could also work for Kairi's character development, which she doesn't really get much of in the series, as you could have her go from world to world, either one Sora has been to or not been to. Maybe have some new Final Fantasy characters in there showing up like Lightning or Noctis, maybe the cast from Final Fantasy VI. There are also several Disney shows and movies we could pull from. Not to mention we could get characters from other Square Enix games, seeing as Neku and the others from the World's End with You showed up in Dream Drop Distance. Maybe have her work with Xion. It could be fun to see how those two interact with each other since they have a unique history. The way I see it, you could have Kairi working with the others on the old worlds, but throw some new worlds in there too. So here's the roadmap for how I see this game going. Like I said before, Maleficent has learned that Sora and Riku are not around and sees this as her chance to take over the worlds again, and starts attacking them again, to try and find the new Princess of Heart, and is somehow able to have far more control over the Heartless than before. Realizing the threat, Yin-Sid has everybody except Kairi split up. He keeps Kairi with him at first to keep her safe since it's obvious Maleficent will come after her, but As he quickly realizes that there are just far too many Heartless, and so left with no other choice, he sends Kairi to go provide backup to the others on the other worlds. And the first person she is sent to help is Xion, who is currently in Radiant Garden. Once there, she and Xion deal with the Heartless attacking the place, and Kairi does a bit of a background check on herself to learn about her history, since this was the world she came from. But they are intercepted by Maleficent, who tries to kidnap Kairi but is unable to deal with both Xion and Kairi, not to mention Leon and the others provide backup. Realizing that Kairi will be in danger if she goes alone, Xion decides to go with her, since Radiant Garden will be safe with Leon and the others now watching over it, with the Heartless being dealt with. And this is our party for the rest of the game, and I think this could be, like I said before, interesting, since Xion is based off Sora's memories of Kairi, and Kairi and Xion don't really interact with each other in the series. In fact, I don't think they have outside that one boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 3. Either way, the two then set off going from world to world, helping the others and searching for the new Princesses of Heart. And there's plenty of worlds they could go to in this story. One place I have in mind is Enchantia from Sophia the First. Yes, I know this is a show for little girls, but hear me out. This show had several other Disney princesses show up, so maybe add Kairi in there. Maybe the amulet that Sophia wears summon Kairi there to help save her from the Heartless, since they're trying to kidnap Sophia as well. You could even have Cedric join the party to try and help save Sophia. Another world I think would be funny to see is the Emperor's New Groove. Yes, the one I made a short about. I don't know, I think it'd just be funny to see Kairi and Xion get constantly frustrated putting up with Cusco, as they have to try and protect him from all the Heartless, but if it's Cusco, well, if you've seen the movie, you know how he's gonna act. There's a bunch of other worlds the two could go to, like Robin Hood, you know, the one with the fox. There's also Mona and Brave. I feel like we could get the two of them as Princesses of Heart for the new ones. You could even have them go into the worlds of the old Princesses of Heart to see how they're doing. Because outside Belle and Jasmine, none of them really were given any screen time after Kingdom Hearts 1. Sure, we saw some of them in Birth by Sleep, but it wouldn't hurt to check up on them, right? Not to mention, I feel like there's a bunch of worlds we could have Kairi go to that Sora would just feel out of place to, but that would work for Kairi. Finally, getting to the final boss fight, we have Kairi and Xion, both of whom have gotten stronger along the journey, face Maleficent once and for all, only for her to turn into a giant heartless monster, only to be defeated, and then Kingdom Hearts 4 happens. And that's a bit of a nutshell, but basically the idea I'm trying to convey here is you could have Maleficent having this huge health bar, and every time you knock it down a certain number, or let's say she has, I don't know, 10 health bars in Kingdom Hearts, every time you knock it down 2 times, she gets a new phase, and it gets harder and harder until we finally get to the final 2 health bars where she has turned into a giant heartless version of her dragon form. I think it'd be a good way to show how Kairi has gotten stronger, that she was able to take down the person who was trying to kidnap her in the first game. So that's my idea. What did you think? Or do you have any ideas of your own for how a Kairi game should go? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you have any other characters or series you want me to talk about that you think need their own game or a new game in their series, also let me know in the comments. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you have a nice day.